Hey, it's Richard with Matthews Wealth Management. We're going to be doing the June 2023 Fed update, right? Balance sheet and M2 money supply. I hope this power doesn't die. It just died on the asset class one, so I got to retape that after this, which is annoying. But sometimes stuff happens. So here we go. Let's dive in to how the Fed and Congress and everybody's doing. Hey, does that look familiar? Good, it should. This is how much money is in circulation. It's ridiculous how many trillions of dollars for just 300 million people, 330 million, whatever. But compared to the 8 billion in the world, not that many people, a ridiculous amount of cash. I wonder why. But you can see that's pretty cool, right? This was COVID, and now the Fed's going to be selling off of their balance sheet, and so M2 is dropping, and everybody's concerned that M2 is dropping, and that hasn't happened since the 80s, and that's going to be terrible, and we're going to have whatever, deflation, right? It's bad. It's going to be the worst thing in the world until the debt ceiling was solved or kicked down the road or suspended. That's what they did. They suspended it, and so what happened to money supply? Went up. So y'all said Congress can just spend some more money they don't have, right? And then what happens when we don't have that money? We print it, literally, and it doesn't just. It's not like a deficit that you pay back. It's just like a ongoing inflation that starts up again. So we were on our way down, actually down from January. You could maybe say December, but down in terms of total costs of stuff, right? Eggs. Remember all that? But no. We have politicians that spend money better than you, apparently. So let's talk about those numbers. We had spent down in the last year 4% of money in circulation. That would have eventually equated to a 4% reduction in prices on an average. Stuff is like linear and direct, but it's all trend based. This was a good trend. A lot of that had happened this year, obviously, and actually that's most of it from December. But that's on pace for what, like 7.5% per year again. Nobody cares about this. You can tell by the likes and shares and all that. Nobody cares about this. So whatever. In history, look, I tried. So $20.8 trillion. We had $20.6 trillion. And the longer, wow, 15.4. Oh, check this out. This was something. And I've been keeping up with this because this is all I do. January 1st, 2020, question mark, question mark. What's up with that? Because this number is wrong, right? This was 15.4, literally 405, I believe. That's 396. Why are they changing numbers that go back multiple years? What kind of revisionist history is that? Like, they literally call it a revision, right? So the question is, who's so bad at their job that they always need to be revised? Unless there's a different reason, right? Like, it's not that they messed up, it's that they need to change it, right? So they lowered it. Well, that makes this look bigger, the gap, but why would they lower it? That doesn't make sense. Like, in history, this is what it was. If you're saying those old bonds came due and weren't bought back, or replaced, then that's one thing. But hey, in January of 2020, it was 15.504 or 540. I forget which one, but it changed. What's the point of numbers in history if it's changing? 1984, guys. Anyway, yeah, that's that. Let's talk about the balance sheet, because this is the Fed's job, right? The Fed has no need to hold assets, right? They're the lender of last resort, yet sitting on these trillions of dollars. They got all the way up to 8.9. They're down. They've done well, right? You can see COVID and no citizen left behind. What are we going to call it? I don't know. But it was on its downward trajectory. This big spike. You'll remember the big spike. The big spike was the bank insolvency, right? The banking crisis. You had all those guys go down, but it spiked, and now it's coming back down. Good. Y'all know I'm all about this, right? That when we spin down the balance sheet and we lower M2, I'm happy, because that's sound economics. In fact, how about just freeze everything? Wow, what a weird concept. But no, you got to intervene. You got to mess with stuff. All right, so that's still on its way down. I'm happy about that. Let's see how much it's down. last month it's down 1%. Cool. Year to date, 2.5. Well, whatever. They had that bump they had to solve, whatever that was. A year ago, down 6.68. Cool. Keep it up. You got to keep going. We're still double what they had from the last crisis, right? Wonder when the next crisis is going to come up. You think we'll ever go from 8.2 down to 4.1, or even better, to 0? Yeah, right. But that's progress. So kudos to the Fed. Good job, Jay Powell. You're doing something good. But we had M2 go up, right? So balance sheet, I did numbers instead of percents because percents are really hard for most people. 91 billion was destroyed. Currency was destroyed by the Fed. Awesome. However, M2 went up. So why was money printed net after they were destroying it from balance sheet? Oh yeah, that pesky Congress. Yeah, we don't have a debt ceiling anymore, or it's not enforced right now. So they just spent $222 billion in 1 month. Well, y'all let them do it, and nobody seemed to care. It was like the debt ceiling was just unavoidable. Let's go to 100 trillion, right? Still haven't heard any reasonable argument as to why we should not. Tongue in cheek, right? But that's where we are. Y'all are letting Congress steal from you, and the Fed's allowing it. And so if you take the Fed away, Congress can't do it because they'd have to raise taxes, which means they'd be unelected, which means we'd have a normal economy. So I hate the Fed. Congress is terrible at their job, and y'all are getting poorer. So we'll see you in August talking about July.